Hey guys, Sock here from Socky Tech, and in today's video, what we are going to do is we are going to be sharing over 50 plus tips, tricks, features, hidden features, and more for your Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, this is an extremely advanced smartphone loaded with features. So I want to make sure that I maximize your ownership by sharing as many features as possible. So let's dive in and get started right away. Alright, so the very first thing I want to be showing you guys is a brand new menu that is exclusive to the S25 series for now, that is in the control panel on the top. So when you pull it down and access your control panel, you're going to see this menu here that says Nearby Devices. Now when you tap on it, it expands and it's something pretty amazing. So basically what you see in the center is your smartphone, and the other stuff are your connected accessories. So for example, here's a Galaxy Watch that is connected, which is showing up right there. And here's Samsung Galaxy Buds that are connected, that are showing right over there. And you can see anything else that is in the area that's available shows up at the bottom right here as a connectable device. But before I show you that, if you tap on any one of these devices, so for example, if I tap on the Galaxy Buds, it's going to expand and it's going to give me a bunch of options I can access right from here, okay? Same with the watch. If I tap on the watch, it's going to show me a couple options related to that watch or apps related to that watch. So this is a fantastic little interface. Now these things you can move around. So I can grab this and you can see it just got disconnected. If I bring it close, it reconnects. But if I grab it, I can put it right here, and that's going to disconnect the buds from my phone. And then if I want to reconnect it, I can just drag and drop items to the Galaxy here, okay, and they're going to reconnect. So look at this. Absolutely beautiful interface, and I like the fact that when I tap on it, I do get quick information about the battery for all the connected devices. But the fact that I can just disconnect them and reconnect them just like that is pretty amazing. A new menu exclusive to the S25 series for now. By the way, if you decide to buy the S25 Ultra, I will drop some links down below to the lowest pricing and the best incentives for the S25 Ultra. Discount information is down in the description box. Now I'm going to show you some camera features, but we're going to come back to that. But I do want to show you something really quick that is very important, that enhances your camera's capabilities. So first and foremost, when you launch the camera, to access the settings of the camera, you tap this button, all right, and you go to settings. Now look at this. When I go down, there's going to be a menu right here that's going to say Camera Assistant. You're not going to see this menu. It is something you want to enable. And once you do enable it, when you tap it, it gives you powerful additional features on top of the stock camera features, such as auto HDR, picture softening, auto lens switching, distortion correction. You can play with all these things, but we have all these options available. But what you have to do to enable this is simply go to the store, and this is going to be available for everybody. So you go to the store, okay? This is the Galaxy Store, and you search, you tap on search for the Camera Assistant, and then you tap on it and you simply install it. Now let me uninstall this real quick because I want you guys to see if I don't have it, and if I go to my camera, all right, let's go to the settings and scroll down, you're not going to see that right here. But as soon as I go to the store and install this, takes a couple seconds. Now when I go back inside, I'm just going to exit and come back into my settings. At the bottom, you're going to see Camera Assistant, and when you tap it, it's going to give you all these additional options to play with. So that's number 2. Simply expand the capabilities of your camera just like that. So let me give you guys a quick tip. If you go over to any application in your phone, you can press and hold on the application, and it's going to open up a little menu you can play with where you can disable, remove, select apps. You can even, for example, if I tap on this app, let's just go to the camera app. If I press and hold, and if I tap on widgets, it brings up all the related widgets to that app. And then you can drag and drop it onto the screen. But on top of that, if you press and hold, take a look at this. It says take selfie, record video, take portrait. These are shortcuts you can quickly access. And on top of just tapping over here, you can actually drag and drop these onto the screen and make it an app shortcut. So when I tap on this one right now, it's simply going to launch the front camera. Okay, so I can have shortcuts like that I create from this menu when you press and hold on applications. And again, so for example, calendar, press and hold, and you have access to all these things. Again, you can grab this and you can put it anywhere on the screen. So that's fantastic. All right, so you can see that I have a video wallpaper on my screen right now. Okay, this is when I downloaded from the Samsung Wallpaper Store. But what you can do is you can make your own video wallpapers from the videos that you shot yourself. Could be your family, kids, pets, whatever. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go to my gallery application. Here's a bunch of videos. Let me just pick this one right over here. Okay, so what I do is I tap over here and I can say set as wallpaper. As soon as I do that, it's going to say, do you want to set this as a lock screen or a call background? So I'm going to say lock screen wallpaper, and it's going to take that and look at this. That could now be my lock screen wallpaper, okay? And I can also trim it to make it shorter or longer, whatever. But look at this. If I tap on done, and if I now go to my lock screen, that is my video wallpaper, okay? So you can take amazing videos of anything that you want and turn that into a video wallpaper. Alright, so when you go to the settings and go to the fingerprints right over here, security and privacy, and then scroll down, go to screen lock and biometrics, dump in your password, and tap on continue. Alright, so here's something that you want to do. So for example, over here is my fingerprints. This is where I add my fingerprints. And I have 3 fingerprints added, but I have no idea which one is which. So what you want to do is, after you do a fingerprint, tap on one of these guys, okay, and then simply rename the fingerprint. Now, if you don't know which fingerprint this is, all you do is you say check added fingerprints. You tap on this guy, then you put your finger, and it says this one was fingerprint number 2. So I can go over here, let me cancel this, go over here to 2, and I can simply say left index finger. Okay, so now when I come back to manage this fingerprint, I know exactly what it is. And look at this, check, that's the left index. Okay, so that matches what I have right here. So make sure as you add fingerprints, you also name them properly, so when you come back to manage them, for example, if you have to remove one of them, you know exactly what you're doing. Alright guys, so your phone has an S Pen. I'm going to give you a couple more tips about the S Pen, but this I think is one of the most practical features of the S Pen. So let's say that you're out in the field doing whatever. Maybe you are doing some work, maybe you're doing some research, and you need something to take notes. But let's say your phone is in your pocket and you want to jot down a note quickly, or maybe jot down a phone number quickly. All you do, guys, is you grab your S Pen. Okay, you bring it close to the screen. Don't touch the screen, just bring it close and press the S Pen button. You're going to see a little animation, and then you're going to get this note. And you can quickly take your notes without even unlocking your device. You can put down a phone number, you can take a quick note, if you're doing research, whatever. Alright, this is a fantastic feature. And by the way, even on this screen, you can tap over here and use different colors. That is great, and you can also change the thickness of the pen, whatever you need to do. But this is a great way to take notes quickly. So when you save this, you can go into your phone and go to your Samsung Notes, and they're going to be saved right here with the same black background. So all these notes you take on the go are accessible in the Samsung Notes. Fantastic, highly practical feature. Alright guys, so the next feature we're going to be talking about has to do with your phone application. So let's go to my phone application right now and let's make a quick call. I'm going to show you guys an amazing little feature that you can use during phone calls. Okay? And this feature benefits the other person on the other side of the phone. So if I tap on call, you're going to wait till you see the microphone icon. That's when the call is active. You're going to see a green icon. So now when you pull this thing down, you're going to see in the control center, okay, not in the notifications, in the control center, you're going to see the mic mode. You can tap on this and you can switch between standard and voice focus. Now, let's say you're talking to somebody and behind you there's a lot of background noise and the other person is complaining, saying they cannot hear you. That's when you go to voice focus, and that drowns out all the background noise. People talking, wind noise, maybe there's a train in the background, maybe you're in the subway, whatever. You tap on this and it's going to focus on your voice and it's going to dampen all the surrounding noise. So the person on the other side, they're going to be able to hear you very clearly. And you can see it's active right now. I can go back to standard anytime. It only works when you are in an actual phone call. All right? So now I'm going to tap on end the call. All right, the next feature I'm going to be talking about is known as the photo ambient wallpaper. It's a powerful AI wallpaper. Look at what it does. So let's go to wallpaper and style, pinch the screen, go to wallpaper and style, then go to change wallpapers, and then go over to create with AI, and it's the photo ambient. So look at this. When I tap on this one, this wallpaper is going to show snow, rain, or wind on your lock screen if it is actually raining or snowing outside. And look at how realistic it becomes. So I'm going to tap on try now, and I'm going to pick a photo. Let's pick this photo right here. It works best with people. So, and it could be real people or, fake people. But look at this. So this is my wallpaper right now. I'm going to play the preview. You're going to see some rain and snow come down. But you'll notice that the rain and snow are going to act as if there's an actual person there. Okay? So look at this. First, you'll see the rain. So look at that. It's processing it. Now, you can see the rain actually is hitting the guy's shoulder and bouncing back. Very hard to see, or the snow. It's going in front and around the person, and some of those snowflakes are actually dropping on his arms and his hat. It may be a little bit hard to see on the video, but if you look carefully, you can see the rain bouncing. Now it's going to show the snow. Okay, so this is going to give you a realistic effect, but the best part is it actually reacts to the actual weather outside. If it's snowing, raining, or it's windy, you're going to see that reflected in the lock screen on your wallpaper. All right, the next feature I'm going to be talking about is to enable what I call is the Swiss Army tool set for your Samsung Galaxy smartphone. Now, it is in your edge panels, and when you pull it in, it looks like this. You have a compass right here, as you can see. And this is a real compass. It's going to work as you move your phone around. And then when you tap on the three dots over here, you actually have 4 more tools. You have a ruler, as you can see, which can be centimeters or inches. And also, you can tap over here. You have a tally counter, as you can see, which is useful in many scenarios. And then you also have a flashlight you can enable right from here. You tap this, the flashlight is on, and you can increase or decrease the intensity. And that's what I'm talking about. That's your flashlight in the back. Okay? And finally, we have the level, which is an amazing tool. It's literally a level tool. So you can see this table is almost level. This circle should be inside that slightly larger circle because we have a camera bump. It's just off a little bit, but that's your built-in level. So if it is not enabled, let's quickly enable this feature. So what you want to do is you want to go to your settings, all right? And then you want to go over to your display right over here. And you want to scroll down and go into edge panels. Make sure they are enabled, all right? Now, once you have the edge panels enabled, over here you have the handle. This is the handle that allows you to pull in all those tools we looked at, and you can customize the handle really quickly. You tap on this guy, you can change the color, you can change the transparency, you can change the size, so you can customize that based on your needs. I can make it thicker, as you can see, and also I can change the position to left or right. So let's keep it right here. But the big thing is you want to go into your panels and you just want to make sure that the tools option is in fact enabled. If you don't want any one of these other things, you can disable everything else, okay? I just like to have my tools. And then I tap on edit and make sure location data is enabled so you can use the compass, all right? Otherwise, it's not going to work. And now I've got my tool set right here for quick, easy access to a bunch of useful functions. Fantastic. Now, the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you guys to add a widget to your screen. This is a very special widget. So I'm just going to bring a free screen over here. So pinch the screen, tap on the widget, and then go down until you see Device Care. You tap on it. Now, you can pick any size that you want. I like this one right over here. I grab it and I dump it over here, okay? So that's my optimization widget. You can see the top part shows me the free storage. So right now I have 256 gigabyte of free storage, and the bottom one shows me how much memory is being utilized, how much of my RAM is being utilized. So every now and then you want to tap this button right here, and that's going to clear the memory, optimize the storage. You can see just did it. And it's going to make your phone run even smoother. Now, real quick, for those of you who do not know, this widget is the same thing. When you go to your settings and you scroll down and go to Device Care, you can see if I go to my memory right here, I can do a quick memory clearance, okay? So that also makes my phone run a little bit smoother. And here's my storage stats right over here. So when I go out here, this is the same thing. You tap on that optimize button and that's exactly what it does. By the way, with any widget you place on your screen, you can press and hold and go to the settings of that widget to modify the way it looks. So I can make it light, I can make it dark, I can make it transparent, or I can make it fully dark. It's all going to be up to you and your needs. Fantastic. Let's move on. Another really cool thing you can do with the S Pen is when you go to your calendar, and I love this feature, okay? When you go to your calendar application, it's right over here. You'll see a symbol on the top right here. You can tap on that, all right? And you can actually write on your calendar. So first, I would recommend you zoom in. You can zoom in up to 400%, okay? After you zoom in, you move it around like this, and then you can take the S Pen and you can write stuff right on your calendar as if it's a paper calendar. The best part is when you save it, it stays there just like that. And on top of that, let me do the edit one more time. You can choose a pen and any kind of markers. You can even do a highlighter, whatever, a pencil. You can pick your color, pick your thickness, anything that you want, you can write on your calendar, as you can see. Absolutely fantastic. And of course, you can even delete stuff. So here's an eraser, delete stuff. This brings the calendar to life. All right? All right, guys, so this next feature has to do with security. There's two ways to access it, and you want to enable this as soon as possible, as long as it is in your phone. Some carriers block this feature, so if you don't see it, no big deal. But if you have it, most people do, go to your settings, scroll down and go to Device Care. This is the first place to access it. It's known as the App Protection. So you tap on this guy and you turn this on, and basically it is going to continuously monitor applications on your phone for malware and suspicious activity, and it's going to protect your phone. Okay? So tap on turn on, but before we do that, you can also go back over here, a very important screen, security and privacy, and then you can see right here, app security. You can also find it in here. It is the app protection. So if I tap it, it goes to the same spot. And then what you do is you turn it on, and in fact, when you turn this on for the first time, you can run a scan. It's going to start to scan your phone. You can see it's going to scan every single installed application one by one. So let me fast forward that so you can see the report. All right, so it's almost done over here. It scans everything, okay? So it says no threats detected. You're good to go. And then you can tap over here and tap on app protection settings and just enable these features. Auto scan when installing new apps and auto scan daily just in case. All right, guys, fantastic feature. Let's move on. Guys, I'm assuming you have this phone and you're actually going to make some calls. So let me show you the built-in call recording feature. So now you can record calls on your smartphone, no problem. So let me give you an example. I'm going to launch the phone application. Let's call AT&T customer care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this number right here. Okay, let me kill the volume here so we don't have to listen to anything. So once the call is in session, you're going to see this recording button right here. You can tap on this button anytime to start recording the call. So now it is recording the call, all right? And what I can do, you can see recording right here. Now, when I want to stop recording, I can tap on this one, and that's going to stop the recording and save it. And then I can end the call. All right, so after you make the call, if you want to access the recording we just made, you go to your phone application, all right? And then here's the call I made, which was recorded. Could be anybody. Could be my father, wife, whatever. So tap over here, and you're going to see an icon. It's going to be a mic icon. That is the play call recording. So I can tap on that, and I can play the recording, all right? So this is a great little feature you now have on the S25 series. Now, if you have a very long history and you're not able to find that, you can always go to your voice recorder. That's a built-in application right here. And you are able to access those calls. You can see it even says call recording, all right? So you can access them from here. In fact, if you tap on this button, exclusively they get saved under this category. All call recordings will save here. Fantastic. Let's move on. All right, so next up, let's go to your settings. Pull it down, go to the settings, and go all the way down and go into About Phone. Now, once you are in the About Phone, I want you guys to tap on the Rename button right here and actually give your phone a personalized name. So in my case, I can say Saki S25, and I can tap on Done. Now what's going to happen is every time I try to connect to my phone using another device, or if another device is searching for my phone via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, whatever, this is the name you're going to see and use, and it's going to be very easy to recognize, and it just gives your phone a personal touch. Now one more thing I want to show you that's really cool here is if you look at this photo right here, it is going to have the same color that your phone has. So this model here is the silver blue color, and that's exactly what you see right over here. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to run a quick diagnostics on your phone to make sure it is in fact 100% brand new with no problems. If after running this test you see a problem, you want to return and replace that phone before the return window runs out of time. So there's two ways to do this. Number one, you go to your settings, all right? You scroll down and you go over to the device care right over here and scroll down and you will see this diagnostics menu and you tap on it, okay? Now that's going to give you a bunch of functions, but the one we want to check is this one right here, the phone diagnostics. Check if your phone's functions are working properly. So tap on this one. Now, when you get dumped into this screen, the first thing I want you guys to do before anything else is simply run a battery status check, okay? And what you want to see here is you want to see normal and you want to see life good, and it should say 5,000 milliamp hours. That's the battery status. That means at least your battery is 100%. You can tap here to test again. In my case, it's going to do the check, and there we go. Now, that to me is the most important diagnostics. But you do want to go back here and you want to make sure when you have the time to run all these tests. It's going to run the USB test, cable charging test. It may ask you to interact with the phone as you're running these tests. So that's going to be up to you. Personally, I would do the battery at least initially. Now that was one way to access the diagnostics. If you don't see it there, go into your apps and type Members. That's the Samsung Members application. It is pre-installed on Samsung phones. So you can go in there, you're going to see this screen, go to Support, and you're going to see the phone diagnostics menu right here. It's the same exact thing. Alright, so that's that. Let's move on to the next tactic. Now I want you guys to be aware of a very special, important menu. Go to the settings, and you'll see it right here. That's your name, your Samsung account. Just want to show you guys, if you tap on it, you are able to access a lot of important settings right over here. Your Samsung profile, payments, your family, you can add family members. It's going to show you your devices. And then anything to do with your Samsung account is going to be right here. So again, very important place to be. That's your Samsung Cloud Storage. This is your Samsung Find. You want to set this up to make sure, even if you lose your device, that you can actually find it. You can locate a lost device using Samsung Find. You just want to tap on Continue and set this up, Samsung Find application. So great place to be to take a look at right here. Now the next feature I absolutely love is if I go to my settings and if I go over to my advanced features right over here, okay, go to the side button, and that is this button right here. That's the power/side button. And when I double tap on the side button right now, it's going to launch the camera. Some people like that, but look at this. If I go over here, I have other options like turning on the flashlight or even launching any app that I want. So look at this. This is actually my favorite. I just picked the flashlight, and now at nighttime, if I ever need a flashlight, even when my phone is off like this, I pull this out of my pocket and I double press the button and it turns on the flashlight as you saw. Okay, so that gives me a quick usable flashlight in a pinch. Or if you use an application all the time, you can program that to launch as well. So as an example, calculator app. So now when I double press this, it just launches the calculator application. Okay, so you have the capability to double press this side button right here, which is great. Now I do want to talk about a new feature that is available on the S25s with One UI 7.0, which is a very nice feature. So let's go to settings, and then I'm going to scroll down over to the lock screen. I'm going to go to the now bar. This is a beautiful feature, okay? So it actually works in two different areas. Now first and foremost, I just want to show you guys, you can enable and disable a lot of applications to show up in the now bar. All right, so clock, voice recorder. I'm going to give you an example with that. So let me go to clock right now. Here it is. I'm going to set a timer. Let's set a timer for 10 minutes. Now when I pull this up, look at what happens. I get a little live activity right here. When I tap on it, I get access to the now bar. This same bar is available on the lock screen. So if I double tap on the screen, it is right here. Wake it up, right there. I can tap it to expand it and see live activity, what's going on, okay? Now look at this. If I go to my voice recorder, that's another application that can be shown in the now bar. So let's say I'm recording something. So we're right here. I'm going to tap on record, okay? So now it's recording a conversation. So look at this. It's also going to show up here, but now I have two items, so I can tap on it, and I can flick between these two items. So that's the clock, that's the recorder, and I can see what's going on. Same thing, if I'm outside, it shows up here. You can tap on it, and you can flick, you can flick the two right here. If you tap on it, you cannot flick, but if it's right here, you can flick it no problem, like this. Great little option, all right. I forgot to mention one of the best ones is the media player. So let's play some music. So I just tap on this one right here to play it, and look at what happens now. When I do this, if I go outside, I've got my music player at the bottom. Again, I can flick, or I can tap on it to expand it and control my music, as you can see. Absolutely fantastic little feature, the now bar. Now your phone has a powerful camera. I want to make sure you guys know exactly how to use it. So let me launch the camera application. I'm going to show you a couple things you need to be aware of. So when you are in the photo mode, you are right now in the main camera. That's the 1X camera. That's the 200 megapixel camera. But if you look on the top right over here, it says 12M. That's 12 megapixels. So you have a 200 megapixel camera that is by default shooting at 12 megapixels. So if you want to utilize the 200 megapixel camera, you tap on this and you choose the 200M option. So that's going to give you a much more sharper, detailed photo. And I would use that specifically if you're maybe taking a photo of a beautiful architecture. You can use this to get the sharpest quality. You can also do 50 megapixels, which is in between. But remember, by default, you are at 12 megapixels. This is great for social media, sharing photos with friends and family. But if you're doing real photography, you want to use the 200 or the 50 even to get higher quality photos. Now the same thing is true for the video. So when you go to video mode, you'll see here's your default resolution and frames per second. So when I tap it right now, I am at 1080p with 30 frames per second. I like to keep my default at 60 and full high definition. Now, what if you want to record 4K? Then you tap on the UHD. That's going to be 4K recording, and you can go all the way up to 8K. That's going to be the sharpest possible video you can shoot on this phone. But normally, I stick to 1080p. And if you want sharper, you go to 4K. 8K is just an extreme option you want to use maybe to capture something really beautiful. It will get you great amount of detail, but it's also going to take more space. So that's a quick thing I want you guys to be aware of with the camera. Now, one more thing you should be aware of, there's a lot of things happening here. I'm going to make a full detailed video separately for the camera. But over here, when you are in the photo mode and you tap here, you can tap on the settings. That'll take you to the photo settings that you want to configure, play with, whatever. And if you go to video and you tap this button, then you tap on the settings, and that takes you into the video camera settings, okay? So just be aware of the area where you can access your settings. So that's a quick tip with the camera. Make sure you know how to utilize different megapixel options. The next thing that you want to decide has to do with your navigation. So let me show you the options. So right now I have the gesture navigation, as you can see. So if I go inside an application, and if I want to exit the application, I swipe up from the bottom. Or if I'm in a menu or any app or whatever, and I want to go back, I just swipe from the side, and that goes back. Now, if you don't like that, you can have the button navigation, which some people prefer. Go to display, scroll down, and go into the navigation bar right here. And then simply choose buttons. That's going to give you a home button, a back button, and a recent app button, as you can see. Now, you can also tap on more options, and you can switch the back to this side, which is the way I like it. So now you have the home button, you got the recent app button, and then you also have the back button. I'm going to stick with the swipe gestures. With the swipe gestures, if you go up and hold, you go to your recents. All right, so you can make that choice right here. Now, if you're not aware, your phone comes with a powerful and also an extremely popular feature known as Circle to Search. Just make sure you know how to use this. So when you are in the swipe gesture, all you do is you press and hold right here, and that glows the screen. And then now what you can do is, using Circle to Search, you can search anything on the screen, which is incredible. I simply swipe something, and it's going to go to Google and search anything similar to what you selected and gets you results. So let's say I took a photo of a chair that I liked in a restaurant or at somebody's house. Look at this, what I can do. I can tap here, then I can tap for Circle to Search, and I can circle this guy, and it's going to give me results where I can actually buy that chair, and it's going to be a Google search, so it's very precise. So that's just one way to use it. Incredible feature. The next thing you want to do is you want to get yourself a very nice looking wallpaper. Now, because this is a Galaxy AI phone, we have capabilities where you can create wallpapers using AI. So look at this. All you do is pinch the screen, go to wallpaper and style, and then go to change wallpapers, and then go over here to create with AI and go to generative, okay? So basically what you can do here is you have all these preset options. So let's say you want to do something imaginary. You tap on this guy, and then you tweak the parameters right here. So I can tap on lamp, I can say castle, okay? And then I can tap on flowers, I can say make me a castle built from wool. And I want it to be, let's say, yellow and teal. I tap on generate, and that's going to create a wallpaper for me using artificial intelligence. You can see we have all these options, and then I can set that as a wallpaper on my home screen for a nice customizable look. With the S25 Ultra, all these AI features work much faster than before. Now, this product has a beautiful display. You want to maximize the quality that you get out of that display. So there's a couple things you want to do. First and foremost, you go to your settings, all right? You scroll down, you go to display. Oops, right here. And then you scroll down again and go to screen resolution. Make sure it is at QHD+. By being here, you're also activating a secret feature that you're not going to see here, but it's known as the Pro Scaler feature. that upscales everything to look better than any other phone on the market, even the S24 Ultra or the iPhone. So make sure this is enabled at the highest resolution, and then go back here and make sure the motion smoothness is set to adaptive. So you get the smoothest scrolling experience. Couple things you want to know over here, because you're going to be using this phone all the time. You look at the display most of the time, okay? This is something you want to enable, the Eye Comfort Shield, right before you go to bed, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours before you go to bed. You can see it's going to keep your eyes comfy by limiting the blue light and using warmer colors. Using at night can make it easier to fall asleep. So remember to enable this feature when you are about to go to bed, maybe 1 hour before. We all know you're going to be staring at that phone, looking at social media. At least go easy on the eyes. And then you can also have this enabled. I usually enable this in the daytime and disable this. This is adaptive color tone. It just balances everything out so things appear more natural. Now the other thing you want to do, and this is going to make watching movies even better, you can go to your settings and scroll down, go to advanced features right here, and then I want you guys to scroll down and go into video brightness. So tap on this one, and what you can do is you can brighten the display anytime you're watching something on an application. So as you download apps like Netflix, HBO, Crunchyroll, YouTube, they're going to show up right here, and you can enable this extra bright display for each app individually. Look at what it does. It temporarily increases the screen brightness and also makes colors more vibrant. So as you learn what it looks like, you can make adjustments based on your needs. The next thing that's very important is the speakers. The phone has amazing speakers, but what you want to do is in the settings, you want to go to sounds and vibration, and then scroll down, go to sound quality and effects, and you want to make sure Dolby Atmos is in fact enabled. That's going to get you surround sound like experience. I would keep this on auto, but if you know you're about to watch a movie, you can just go to movie, music, voice, whatever, okay? But keep this enabled. In fact, listen to something, music maybe, without this and with this, you'll immediately notice a difference. This is the better way to go. Now back here, you can also go to the equalizer, and again, as you listen to music, you can change it the way you want it. Okay, so if you want a balanced sound, over here. If you want treble boost, you'll go over here. If you know exactly how to work this thing, some people do, you can customize your equalizer by tweaking these settings individually, one by one, as you can see, if you know what you're doing. The option is there for music lovers. Now, there's a very important battery setting that you want to activate. Again, just go to your settings and go over to the battery right over here, and basically go over into battery protection. By default, it's turned off. So turn it on and go inside, and you're going to see you have three options to protect your battery. Now look at what it says here. It says keeping your battery at a full 100% charge for a long time can reduce its lifespan. So if you're the type of person that keeps your phones for a long time, I would go for maximum protection, and I would go to 90. So that's going to charge your phone up to 90%, and then it's going to stop charging. And believe it or not, that prolongs your battery's lifespan over the years. Now personally, I go with this one. I let the battery charge to 100%, but then it doesn't let the battery charge again till the battery drops down to 95%, and this works when you forget to pull the cable out. Let's say you went to sleep and you attached the cable to charge your phone and you forgot, it's just going to keep charging it if you don't have this active. This one lets the battery die to 95 and then recharge to 100, and that will also prolong the life, but not as good as this one. I like basic or maximum and then tweak the number. Now I do want to let you know, you have a couple shortcuts here to turn the phone on and off. So you can always double tap on the screen on an empty area to turn off the display, and just go to the lock screen, and you can double tap to wake it up, as you can see, and then go inside. Now these options are regulated right here. Under advanced features, we have motions and gestures, and here it is. Double tap to turn on, double tap to turn off, You can also do lift to wake. But here's my most favorite feature, mute with gestures. So if somebody calls you or the alarm starts to ring and you want to quickly mute that call or the alarm, make sure this is enabled. And when somebody calls you, all you do is pick the phone, boom, and it's going to mute the call. That is a great, great feature. All right, so next up, let's talk about the always on display. So when I double tap here, look at what happens. It goes to my always on display. This can be turned off and on if you don't need it, okay? So look at this. If I go to my settings right over here, scroll down and go into lock screen and AOD, and here it is, always on display. You tap on it and you can disable or enable right from here, as you can see, okay? If you disable this, there is no always on display, and that is going to prolong the battery life a little bit, okay? So if you're a battery life person, you want to make sure that's disabled. If you like the style, then you can just go like this. I kind of like this watch here, all right? So I'm going to keep my always on display. All right, next up, I'm going to talk about the lock screen customization. So when you pinch the screen, and if you tap on wallpaper and style, you are able to tap this one right here. This is the lock screen. This is the home screen. So if I tap on the lock screen, you can see the customization menu appears. So first I can tap on the wallpaper. I can pick a different wallpaper. Let's pick this one right here, just as an example. Okay, I'm going to tap on the colors. Let's do blue. Okay, so now we have a blue lock screen wallpaper. Now again, if I tap it again, I can also tap these two shortcut items at the bottom. So when I tap this, I can pick a shortcut. Okay, I can do applications. So let's say I want to launch the calculator application from this shortcut. And over here, we've got the camera. I'm going to keep that as it is. So now you have the calculator and the camera shortcut. And then I can tap on the clock and I can change the styling of my clock and the coloring, as you can see. All right, so you have all these options. And I can go to style and I can do this. Look, absolutely fantastic. And I can change the size and I can move it around as I please. So if I make the size smaller, I have the ability to move it down a little bit. So you can customize your lock screen any way that you want. So look at that. And again, the font and color can still be changed even after you pick a style. Now on top of that, you can add widgets right here. So I can add a battery widget, let's say battery status right here. I can add a device care widget right here. I can add a reminder widget right here, okay? So you can customize it that way. So when I tap on done, now that is going to be my lock screen, and it's designed the way I want it to look like. Now when I go back inside, I'm going to show you one final thing with the lock screen. Lock screen and AOD under settings, tap on the contact information. Now here you can do two things. You can put a quote, or you can put your email address. So if you lose your phone, somebody can email you that, hey, you lost your phone. But let me give you an example. I'm just going to say Saki. I'm going to tap on done. So let's say you lost your phone, somebody picked it up, okay? And they'll see that message right here. It says Saki. But you can also put there, if found, please contact email, all right? Or you can have a quote. If you have a favorite quote, you can have it there. Just another way to personalize your device. Now here's a setting I always enable. Basically, you pinch the screen and you go to the settings. These are the home screen setting. If I scroll down, look at this. It says swipe down for notification panel. So normally to access notification panel, you go to the top and you swipe down. But sometimes if you're holding the phone like this, it's easier to just swipe like this on the screen. Just like that. So for that, I enable this. Swipe down for notification panel. Swipe anywhere on the screen for it to come down. By the way, guys, when you swipe this down and you swipe again, you can see nothing happens. Or if you do it over here, nothing is happening. If you want to access your control center, you start by the corner right here. In fact, if you go to the corner and you swipe down, you get your control center, and you can swipe this further to expand all your controls. And on top of that, you can tap on edit to actually edit your controls. Okay, so tap. I can remove stuff I'm not going to use. and I can add stuff from here that I do want to use. As you can see, they're just going over there, and now I have a customized quick toggle screen. Additionally, this is a panel. I can tap on the panel settings, and look at this. I can do separate or together. So when I do together, look at what happens. I'm going to go out. Now when I swipe this down, if I swipe again, it brings down the panel, my quick panel. So you can set that up the way you want it. Panel settings, separate. Now it's separate, so when I pull this down, it's not going to bring the quick toggles down, but if I go to the corner top, it will bring them down. So all this is under your control. You want to configure these things the way you want them. Now, by the way, under the same menu, there are so many things you can do with the home screen. So you can change the size of the apps. If you want smaller apps, you can get smaller apps, medium or large. So if I go out, you're going to see the apps are much larger. So you can do all that stuff here. You can also change the grid of the home screen to get more real estate. So I can do 5x6, and now you can see I can add even more apps to the side. Okay, so these are available options under the home settings. Also, you can have apps screen grid, which gives you more room to put apps in one screen in your app drawer, which is right over here. Okay, and also if you pinch the screen, you can change the folder grid. So tap on this, you can do a 4x4 folder. So now when I go out over here to one of my folders, it's a 4x4. So I can add 16 items in here. And one thing that's very important with any folder that you make is you can have a folder in its standard size like this, or press and hold, and you can enlarge it like this, okay? And also with this one, the best thing is if you want to access an application, you just tap on the app and it launches it. With the smaller one, when you have it shrink like this, you have to tap and then tap. But on the other one, you tap directly. All right, so that brings us to the end of this video. Any questions? Drop them down below. Let me know. Have a fantastic day.